All right, good morning, everybody. It is Monday, November 29th, 2021. Welcome back. We're just coming off of a 4-day holiday weekend here for Thanksgiving. So I hope that everyone did have a great Thanksgiving with family and friends. But we are now back to the markets here for just to kind of finish out the last part of the year here now. So it looks like for Thanksgiving, it was pretty much a low volume, choppy session. If we zoom in here to November 25th, the market opened and we basically just kind of chopped around until the early close. And then on Black Friday here, as you can see, it looks like there were a lot of people taking some profits here so that they could go out and make some big purchases on Black Friday. And so we got this big sell-off here going into the close of the week and closed on the lows there at 45.77 quarter, which then brought us into our Globex session here, where it's been pretty much sideways for the whole night here, ever since the open back on Sunday afternoon there. So, well, we did get this really strong push out, but then after that have been pretty sideways here. Looks like we are breaking out right now above 50% of the previous day. So that major sell-off, we've now retraced half of it, not that much above us, especially considering the kind of markets that we've been in here, going from 46.40 back up to 47.08. I mean, that could be a 1 hour situation right there. So let's take a look at our ultra high time frames and see what the charts are saying. Let's go up to the quarterly. Remember, our quarterly chart is going to officially close here in 2 days, right? So we have today, we have tomorrow, and then this quarterly chart, or this quarterly bar, will actually close. Now, with that sell-off that we got, we did get this really nice retracement. Now, we kind of pulled back from the all-time high, right? So we were up around 47.40.50, which I think is our new all-time high. We did get a little bit of a pullback here, and now we're kind of recovering on this quarterly bar. Notice that we retraced the previous quarterly bar by more than 50%. That looks like at least about a 61, if not a 75% retracement of that previous quarterly bar retraced. But now we're closing up off the highs here and have a nice green bar. So this quarterly, we'll look at it on, let's see, on Wednesday, and we'll have that official close up there. Right now, as we've said for months now, the quarterly chart looks really strong with no signs of exhaustion. We get to our monthly, and this is where we have that bearish argument off the highs. This candle will also close in 2 days. So let's see, or tomorrow. So on Wednesday, we'll come back and take a look at how this officially closed. But right now, still have that bearish pattern off of the all-time high and right off the back end of that trend line that we drew back, I think, off this pullback from the lows of March. So kind of interesting to see that. And remember, we did have some bearish signals on the monthly. We also had some bearish signals off the highs up here on the weekly when we jumped down. And I would say even right now, with all this wonkiness up off these highs that we made, we do have, that bearish kind of clue off the highs. We might have gotten the follow through on Friday. So all these little bearish clues that we got from the monthly, from the weekly, and also from the daily, if you guys remember back to just a few days before the holiday there, we said that we finally got a confluence between the daily, the weekly, and the monthly bars, or the monthly signals. And ever since then, we did get this pullback from the high at 47.40 all the way down to 45.70 for, let's just call it just about a 150 point pullback there, give or take. So not a bad pullback, and it pretty much was in the cards. If you guys were here all last week, we continued to talk about the confluence of our high time frames giving us the bearish signal. The question was, how far were they going to really pull back here? And sure enough, on Friday of last week, we did get the correction. Now, that could be it. So we got the nice confluence up top. We got 120, 130, whatever point pullback there. That could be it for the bears, and the bulls could just jump right back in. And we continue to do exactly what you see here on this daily chart. just continue to chug higher. So we'll have to see. Right now on the daily, we don't really have a clear bullish signal off the low. If you look at where RVI is right now and you look at where price is, we don't really have a strong bullish argument from there. However, if we start getting down to the shorter time frames, we'll start to see a really clear bullish signal off of the previous daily low, which was that 45.77 quarter. So these higher time frames had the bearish signals from the highs. We did get this pretty nice pullback so far. And then once we get down into our 4-hour chart, this is where we start to get some really nice bullish divergences from that previous daily low. So 4-hour, really nice bullish divergence from down there. And then our hourly also really nice bullish divergence from down there. And then when we go to our intermediate time frames, I think we also have some pretty clean bullish signals from down there. So once again, a really nice bullish divergence on the 30-minute from down there. And then on the 10-minute, we also got that bullish divergence. So everything looks really strong from that low. However, keep in mind that this morning, if we're going to have a bullish push, we need to get through and hold above that 46.43 area, which is what the market is doing right now. We do have, and let me just go back to the 60-minute. We do have from the 60-minute down some bearish arguments off of the highs we're making here in the overnight session. So 60-minute had a little bit of a bearish signal at that 46.43 area. And then when we look down here at the 10-minute and the 30-minute, we do have on a number of these tests, we do have some bearish arguments. So getting through the overnight high area here at 43 is going to be important this morning if all these bullish signals are going to hold and continue to follow through. If we look at the current leg right here, and let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit, we do want to consider the retracement of that push. So notice we had a lot of trouble ever since we tested that 40, let's get the actual number there, 42.75, and basically have been attempting to break through. So we do have this retracement scheme for that leg, and that lines up pretty much exactly with the CP at the 50% area, our eye level at the 61.8 area, and the 38% retracement is right into that previous resistance and eye level at 19, which then became support here in the overnight session. So we've got these three retracement levels below us that are lining up with some other interesting levels. So we have that. And then if we continue to push higher, we want to keep in mind that getting through the high that we just made is going to be important. That's where that swing high was back on November, or swing low was back on November 23rd. So the low of November 23rd happened to be, let's take a look, 46.49, and the high we just made was 46.49.50. All right, so not too surprising. They pushed to that level, 2 ticks into it, and then got this rejection from there. Remember, this is a 10-minute chart, so just about 20 minutes of price action here, and still have not been able to come back up and test it. So a pretty clean little push right off of that swing low from November 23rd there. Getting through that will be important, and then from there it's basically going to be one by one right through each of these levels you see on the chart here. Some of these are eye levels, some of them are prediction points, and then of course we want to consider the retracement of this whole push down, which would give us, again, 50% is right where we are now. 61.8 is right up into this eye level around 67. So these are the things that we were going to want to get through this morning for the bullish case. If the bears jump in here and they pull the market below 43 and they start to pull us down and they break through the previous daily low, then there will be no more bullish arguments here. So it's going to be important for the market to stay above that previous daily low. And I think that's really all we have for this morning. A pretty good bullish confluence off that previous daily low, and then some shorter term bearish signals off the overnight highs, which looks like we're attempting to break through at the moment. So we would expect here for the bulls to stay in power here and then start to come up and test some of these levels above. Again, if the bears jump in here, we do have some pretty good retracement levels below us that line up with some other interesting levels we have on the chart. So there might be a defense here, but then once they get through that previous daily low, it's going to start to open up some levels below us, which we'll discuss with our members in the members section here. So for everybody out there watching on YouTube, have a great rest of your week here, or a great rest of your morning. And we're going to jump over to the members section and get to our shorter time frames here and start looking for some trades coming into the open. So take care.